worship the God who is. We worship the God who evermore will be. He opened the prison doors, He parted the raging sea. My God, He holds the victory. Yeah. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. Yeah. We sing to the God who heals. We sing to the God who saves. We sing to the God who always makes a way. 'Cause He hung up on that cross, then He rose up from that grave. My God, still rolling stones away. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. We were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners, now we're running free. We are forgiven, accepted, redeemed by His grace. Let the house of the Lord sing praise. We were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners, now we're running free. We are forgiven, accepted, redeemed by His grace. Let the house of the Lord sing praise. Shout out your praise. There's joy in the house. There is joy. There is joy. Surely in this place. And we won't be quiet. We're gonna shout out your praise. There is joy. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. We shout out your praise. Oh, we shout out. Oh, oh, oh.
When Jehoiakim was the king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, went with his army to Judah. Because God's people had sinned against him, God allowed King Nebuchadnezzar to take over the city of Jerusalem. King Nebuchadnezzar told one of his leaders to bring some of the people to Babylon. He wanted boys who were healthy, handsome, and good learners to serve in his palace. Every day, King Nebuchadnezzar gave the boys a special diet. They ate the same food and drank the same drinks that the king ate and drank. 4 of the boys who came from Judah were different than the others. They worshiped the Lord, the one true God. Their names were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. The man in charge of the boys gave them new Babylonian names. Daniel's new name was Belteshazzar. Hananiah's new name was Shadrach. Mishael's new name was Meshach. And Azariah's new name was Abednego. Even though Daniel and his friends weren't in Judah anymore, Daniel still wanted to obey God. God's laws told Daniel what he could and could not eat. Daniel was not allowed to eat some of the food that the king gave the boys. Daniel asked the man in charge for permission to eat other foods, but the man in charge was afraid. If you don't eat the king's food, you won't be strong like the other young men. The king might get angry and kill me, he said. Daniel said, "Try this for 10 days. Let us only eat vegetables and drink only water. Then see if we are healthier than the other young men." The guard agreed. At the end of 10 days, Daniel and his friends looked healthier than the young men who had eaten the king's food. After that, the guard allowed Daniel and his friends to keep drinking water and eating vegetables. God was happy that Daniel obeyed him. God blessed Daniel and his friends. He made them wise and smart. They learned lots of new things. God gave Daniel the ability to understand visions and dreams. When their training was over, Daniel and his friends stood before the king. The king saw that they were smarter and stronger than all the other young men. They were even smarter than the wise men who worked for the king. Daniel served the king for many years. Daniel chose to obey God no matter what, and God blessed Daniel and his friends. In an even greater way, Jesus always obeyed God. He came to earth and followed God's plan to save sinners. Jesus never sinned, but he died the death we deserve. Jesus rose from the dead, and those who trust in him receive God's forgiveness and blessing.
Hey there, little chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl. Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV, hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now, once again, welcome to Grow TV.
What's up? How are y'all? I feel like it's been forever. Anyways, I'm so glad you're here, because guess what? I'm at one of my favorite places on the planet. Can you guess where I am? Nope, not the Cheesecake Factory. No, I am not at the birthplace of the guy who created the two-story outhouse. Nope, I am here at the, drumroll, the zoo. Now, I love the zoo. I don't know if it's the animals, the plants, the vegetation, or maybe just the outrageously priced food, but I just love it all so much. No, this can't be happening. Y'all have just been notified that my ticket to the zoo has been canceled. Apparently the card I used to pay was declined. They took my ticket away. I don't know how this is possible. I mean, this is my card. Why wouldn't they accept this? They're saying I can't pay for a ticket and food? What is this world coming to if you can't pay admission to a zoo with some McDonald's? And now what am I gonna do? I guess I'll just go home. Hey, Andrew?
Hey, Carl! Whoa, what's wrong?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, wait, are you at the zoo?
Yeah, but not for long.
What? Why?
Well, you know how I love the zoo, right?
Of course.
Well, yesterday I was sitting at home and I thought, hey, I need a me day. So I went online, I bought a ticket, or so I thought.
What do you mean?
Well, apparently they don't accept food gift cards as payment. You have to use real money. Makes no sense.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What are you gonna do now?
I don't know, go home, stare at the abyss, eat 5 pounds of chicken nuggets and cry myself to sleep.
Well, don't do that.
Why not?
Carl, you've never been one to give up. You're kind of like Daniel in that way.
Daniel? Daniel who? Double dipping Daniel? The guy who always double dips his chips into salsa?
No, Daniel from the Bible.
Oh, okay, good, because I'm nothing like double dipping Daniel. I would never double dip chips like that. Yuck!
Okay, well, Daniel was a prophet in the Old Testament times, and he loved God very much.
All right, he sounds cool.
Well, his story starts off kind of rough. You see, Daniel and his friends lived in Jerusalem, but one day they were overtaken by the people from Babylon. The king of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar, took Daniel and the people of Jerusalem as captives back to Babylon.
Wait, do the people of Jerusalem want to go with the Babylonian Knights? people Babylon? Babylonians? The Babylon people.
No, the Babylonians took them as their slaves. Babylon was much different than the place that they were used to. It definitely wasn't home. One of the biggest differences was the way that the Babylonians worshiped and who they worshiped.
Oh no, that's terrible.
It was, but the king had a plan for Daniel and his friends. You see, King Nebuchadnezzar asked one of his chiefs to find some men who would be fit to work at his palace. And that chief picked Daniel and 3 other men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Oh, well, that's kind of nice. Did they get any special perks with their new job?
Sort of. They were going to be given food from the king's table to eat.
Whoa, they get to eat the king's food? That's great. I bet you he only eats the best of everything, like fancy mac and cheese with gold in it or something.
Well, that's the thing. Daniel and the guys didn't want to eat the king's food.
Are they out of their minds? Why would they turn down the finest meals you can find in the whole kingdom? And wouldn't that have been like an insult to the king to like reject his food?
Yeah, for sure. But the 4 friends chose to not eat the king's food because they knew it would go against their commitment to God. So Daniel suggested to the chief that they only eat vegetables. But the chief was worried.
Why?
Well, he was worried that only eating vegetables would make them sick or weak, and the king wouldn't want that at all. But Daniel persuaded him to let them try it for 10 days. And guess what?
Daniel ate so many carrots he became one.
Nope, they actually... Wait, what?
That's one of my greatest fears. Eating so many carrots to actually become a carrot.
Okay, anywho, it worked. Verse 15 says, "At the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier and better nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food." Daniel and his 3 friends were healthier and stronger than any of the others who'd been eating from the king's table. And over time, the 4 men became the most respected men in the whole kingdom. And Daniel even had the gift of interpreting people's dreams and visions.
Wait, what does that mean?
Means that God gave Daniel the ability to understand what certain dreams meant. If you keep reading the book of Daniel, you'll see all the different ways that that gift came in handy.
Sounds like it. Well, now I'm just trying to figure out why you compared me to Daniel, because I don't know nothing about interpreting dreams.
Well, you see, Daniel was taken away from almost everything that he'd ever known. He was taken away from his hometown and put into a new land with new rules. But Daniel knew one very important thing.
Never eat yellow snow?
No. But even though everything around him had changed and was new, Daniel understood that God was still the same. And even more than that, he knew that God was always going to be with him.
Huh, I guess you're right. Well, that's tough. It would be hard to not just, give up.
It would be, but Daniel's faith gave him strength to carry on. And not only that, but stand up for what he knew was right. For example, he was in no position to be denying the king's food, but he knew that in order for him to still honor God, he couldn't eat it. And look how it turned out. Because Daniel chose not to give up, but carry on, he became one of the king's most trusted servants.
I bet you this isn't the end of Daniel's story, is it?
Not by a long shot, but we'll get to that later. Now, about the zoo.
I know. It was silly of me to think that I could use food as money. But I learned my lesson. I'm going to go home, get some money, real money, and try again tomorrow. Andrew, you just sent me 20 bucks? Silly. I'll send it back.
No, Carl, that's for you to get into the zoo.
Wait, really? I just...
Carl, it's fine. I don't want you to give up today. And plus, there's nothing wrong with asking for help now and again.
That's the sweetest thing in the world. Thank you. I will never forget this. Seriously, I will never forget what you just did for me.
No problem. Happy to do it.
Do what?
The money for the zoo that I just...
Just kidding. Thanks, Andrew.
Well, hello there, kids. Are you ready for today's big idea? Great! Or as a tiger might say, great! Sorry, that was funnier in my head. Anyways, today's big idea is, I won't give up. God is with me. So on the count of 3, I want us all to roar the big idea like a lion, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. I won't give up. God is with me. Perfect. Very believable roars. I even got scared a bit. Now kids, it looks like Carl is enjoying his time at the zoo. So make sure to tune in next week so we can see what kind of animals he runs into. See you later.
Thank you for watching and tune in next week for a new episode of